Okay, this is a brilliant warm-up exercise if you're going to be squatting or doing anything with your legs. We're going to go for a narrowish stance, so feet hip distance. We're going to use a partially deflated Pilates board, but you can use anything that you have accessible and available to you. Like you could put a foam roller in there, you could roll up a jumper and put that in between the legs, or like double over a cushion or a pillow or something that's a little bit squishy. Right, in the sense of a foam roller, it's not squishy, but it's just as effective. That is something that you can squeeze anyway. If it's far too solid, you're not going to be able to squeeze it without it really being irritating. So what we're going to do is just simply sit down and stand up with a ball in between the legs. So set myself up standing here. So here, feet directly underneath the hips. Place the ball between the inner thighs and then squeeze it as tightly as you can. What you'll then notice is your inner thighs activate, your quads activate by lifting up from the knees. Make sure your feet are screwed into the floor and you feel like your bum like clenching like this. So it's not just squeezing, it's squeezing in and up, like towards the centre, like almost like that rounding. That action there gives you a little bit of internal rotation at the thighs. Now that internal rotation is really important when you squat because it helps give you a little bit of space to get down. What's a common fault with squatting is that the knees come in, so that internal rotation happens like a little bit too much and we lack the external rotation. So by teaching ourselves to have strength in the internal rotation, it will stabilise the knee and even the ankle joint and the hip joint a little bit more. So we're going to squeeze the ball and then hinge back, bend the knees, sit down, making sure you're still engaged through the glutes, through the thighs, we're still squeezing the ball, and then we're going to stand up. So what we don't want to do is to squeeze it way too much and have the knees rolling in completely. So it's just a little squeeze just to activate, and this is like, it's going to help keep the knees in line with the toes as well, so that helps with the alignment, and then we're building strength in that alignment. So let's do it again. You're going to squeeze the ball. So at the top, kind of get a little bit of external rotation out the hips, and you're squeezing the bum and the thighs are rolling outwards like this. So that's how you're going to start, and then as you hinge back, you get a little bit of internal rotation, but not too much. Keep the knees in line with the toes, keep everything active, sit down. As you come up, we're still going to keep that engagement. There's a tiny bit of external rotation out the top of the hip, but not so much that you then drive the knees too far out. So squeeze the ball, internal rotation, little bit of external rotation to finish off the top. So yeah, this really helps to keep the inner thighs active when you transfer it over to another movement. So now if we take this out, move the mat out the way. Can't see my face, but you get the general idea. As we sit back, you get a little bit of external rotation to start with, then here a little bit of internal rotation to give you space. That helps to get the knees outwards. We can then come down a little bit deeper. Then on the way up, again we're engaging here to keep the knees in line with the toes, but we get a little bit of external rotation at the top, to feel glutes working. So let's do it again. So a little bit external rotation to start with. Sit the hips back. Feel the internal rotation, but not too much. Let's go and do that. A little bit of internal rotation, activate, stabilise the knees. Only go as low as you can manage, but I'm just coming this slow so I can say hi. And then as you come up, push through the feet. Keep the knees in line with the toes, but find that little bit of external rotation at the top to feel the glutes working. All right, so that's a brilliant activation exercise to warm your legs up and get you ready for any kind of squat pattern or anything else that's going to involve your legs. So yeah, fun.